Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to have you here. Today, we're going to be talking about fountains, and more specifically, why to use them and where to use them. But before I go on talking more about fountains, let me introduce myself. I am Kendra Gardner, founder of Energetic Spaces. I am an architect, designer, and feng shui expert. At Energetic Spaces, we help people create spaces that support them in manifesting their dreams and desires. Using feng shui principles and other healing modalities, we create holistic spaces. So today in this video, we're going to do a deep dive in why to use a fountain, more importantly, where to locate it. This is really great because I feel like ever since I became a feng shui expert and practitioner, I constantly have clients who hear about fountains, know a little bit about fountains, but it's like a little information and they're lost. They don't know how to use it, where to use it, where's the best place to put it. So I want to kind of go through it a little bit so you know where are the best or most auspicious locations for your fountain. They're wonderful ways to bring in positive energy into your space, but they are most useful if placed in the right location. I'm going to use some visuals to help explain this point of where you should locate your feng shui fountain. So as a feng shui practitioner, I've had tons of clients and people asking questions on where to locate a fountain. You hear so much about a fountain, you know they're so wonderful, they're supposed to bring all this great positive energy and good luck. But the best thing about a fountain, or the way the fountain is the most useful and impactful, is if you place it in the correct location. So in this video, we're going to talk about where you should locate your fountain so it can be the most auspicious and bring you the most positive and great energy to your space and surroundings. So as you know, in this video, we're talking about fountains, why and where to use them for their optimal benefit. So of course, why and where to use it, where is the most optimal, where is the most auspicious locations for your fountain? So we'll start with the first question. Why do you use a fountain? Why is this so great? What does it offer to your space? So a fountain can bring in luck, happiness, and prosperity to your home and surroundings. So you can understand why people are so in love with it, so love the idea. In another video, I will talk about 4 specific reasons why and things they really do offer to your space that are really great and kind of drive home why you might want to use a fountain. But aside from the idea that it does bring in luck, happiness, and prosperity, this is all great, but it's very important that you locate your fountain in an optimal location, in an auspicious place for this to really take effect and do all the positive things you want it to do for you. So the key here is we're going to talk about is where to place your fountain. I really want to drive home why placement is so important, but it kind of goes back to the whole thing of feng shui. There's long, drawn out definitions of feng shui, but I always really appreciate this very short and simple, concise definition. Feng shui is the ancient art of placement. And it's about understanding the energies, understanding how things move, flow, and everything interacts with each other. But when I say about understanding placement, certain things are better in a certain area than other things. And if you can respect that and then actually use it to your advantage, you really start to make things move, shift, and change to support you and whatever you wish to manifest, create, foster in your space, home, and life. So going further on understanding feng shui, there is a tool that is used in all Chinese healing modalities, which is called the Bagua. So the Bagua, if you ever really look at the Bagua, like it has tons of symbols in there. You have a yin yang symbol, you have the I Ching, the trigrams in there. Like there is a lot that's in this that's been worked out and studied, and you can really dive in and learn more about it. And the thing that I find fascinating or really great about the Bagua, it is used by all Chinese healing modalities. So whether you're using it for feng shui, whether you're using it for acupuncture, whether you're using it for Chinese medicine, we all use this diagnostic tool to kind of start or as a way to spread out or think about how things are and then kind of go your own way. And obviously it is a little different. But for example, if I'm thinking about the fame area of your home, or you come to me saying you're having problems with being recognized, you're not getting the promotion, et cetera, I start thinking about, okay, what's going on in this area of your house? Is it, the southern area? Is it fame and recognition area? Like, what's going on here? Do we need to look at it? Is there something off in this energy? Because it relates about you being seen and how you're being seen by the world. So that's where I'm going to focus. But if you're having eye problems, so your Chinese medicine doctor is going to think about the same area because it talks about eyes, which I talked about being seen. So obviously we go a totally different direction. It's all being used differently, but it's all coming from the same roots of how the energies play together. And I always found that exciting and fascinating. But the reason I bring it up, depending on what school you focus on, you'll really appreciate and understand how to use the Bagua, how to lay it out, and how this affects where you might want to place your fountain. So if you use a Bagua map, which is kind of how you in feng shui and several schools, you kind of pull out from the bagua and you make it into a square or a rectangle or a map, and then you kind of play with these different areas. And the more you know, the more in touch your practitioner is. They'll tell you how to use the bagua, when not to, what's different in different energy. Like this year it might be auspicious, next year it might be not. There's lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff. That's why people become experts. They study and they study and they understand the subtleties of the energy. But we're just going to go through some basic, simple starters to help you think about where to locate the fountain for you, just to get started, get yourself going, start bringing in that positive energy, and get your space set up. So I really want to tell you places you should probably, starting off with places you should avoid. So the inauspicious locations for your fountain, places where you probably don't want to put it. So you probably want to avoid the southern areas or of your, that deals with fire and fame and recognition, because as stated, it deals with fire. And the last thing you want to do is put water and dampen your fire, because you need that fire to go to get things moving in that area. So if you put something that's going to put the fire out, you're killing it. And it's not a positive, the overall effect will not be positive, as you can imagine. You don't want to dampen the fire. So you definitely don't want to put it in the southern area. You do not want to put a fountain in your bedroom. And the thing is, your bedroom is an area where you really do not want a lot of water. It's just not something that supports the water element. Like you might have blue color per se, but you do not want a lot of water. So in your bedroom, you avoid fountains, you avoid fish tanks. It's just not an area for a lot of water. And then another area that you would avoid water is your kitchen. Now, I know there's a sink in your kitchen. Obviously, it's functional, it works that. But the kitchen is not some place you want to have too much water. It is more of a fire area in general, but it's not a place that needs too much water. Like there's water with the sink that will balance out any water that needs to be added. You just don't need to add a lot of water, which a fountain would be. Another area to avoid adding water is your bathroom. And it's kind of, the idea is your bathroom has so much water energy. You got sinks, you got a shower, you got a tub, you got a toilet. That's a lot of water. You do not need to add more. It's like sometimes more is just more. In fact, at this stage, more is too much. So you do not want to add a fountain to your bathroom. It's too much water energy. Another place, which I'm sure you never thought of and probably wouldn't be first on your list, you should not put a fountain, is underneath your stairs. Now, mind you, a lot of people don't have these type of little spaces under their stairs. So they're like, what are you talking about? My stairs are stacked up on top of each other. There's no place to put a fountain. But some people really do have these lovely little niches and like spaces under their stairs. And if you do, that's great. Just do not put a fountain there. And there are opportunities. Like I was showing you, different locations, but we're not going to talk about cactuses. But like this, if you wanted to add water to it, that's grand. You just can't have that water be underneath the stair, or it would be inauspicious. And when I say inauspicious, traditionally the thought would be that there would be a lot of accidents and falling down those stairs. So now let's go conversely to the auspicious location. Some good ideas to think about, some great place to think about putting your fountain. So one area is to put it in the western area of your home. This area usually relates back to family, but also the element that is considered to be part of this area is wood. And what nourishes wood but water? So adding water to nourish your wood element is actually just helping to encourage that element to prosper. So it's a great place to put your fountain if you're thinking about it. Another area to put it is in the northern area. The northern area does relate back to water, but it also relates back to career. And it's all about flow, it's all about opportunities, and that's what a fountain is encouraging. So it's a great location. And if you understood what I was saying about career, you'd understand that a fountain also in your office is a really good location for it, because it's encouraging the flow and the opportunities and abundance to come to you. Another really good location for a fountain is at your entry. Now, the thing that's a little different about it is whether or not you have it inside or outside. Either way, at your entry is good. But if you have a fountain outside, the key thing with your fountain that's on the exterior is have the fountain, the water directing back towards the door. You don't want to be calling it away, you want to be calling it to. So if you have a fountain near your door, make sure that's, spigot or the direction that the water is flowing or pouring towards, it's towards the house. So you're encouraging, or the door. So you're encouraging the energy to come to the home, to the office, to the building. You're encouraging that movement as opposed to encouraging it to go away. And of course, same thing would be considered on the inside. So if you have a fountain on the inside of an entry, which is also not a bad location, as a good location, as I said, it's great, but be very conscious which way that spigot flows. So say you had this particular fountain, make sure that fountain is not facing, like the water is not pouring back towards the door, because you're basically saying, come in, go out. Like go out, go out, go out. I don't want you here. So turn in different directions so that it kind of, isn't calling it or pushing it away. A really, really good location is in the southeastern corner for a fountain. And the reason why it's such a good is usually that is the wealth corner. And so adding a fountain in that area is auspicious, because a fountain is usually and historically, used to increase wealth and abundance. So adding a fountain in the wealth and abundance area is always great. It usually is very, very positive. And there is some discussion and thought about indoor and outdoor fountains. There is obviously plus and minuses to both. I mean, not everybody can have an outdoor fountain. Not everybody has outdoor space, but it is great. It is a wonderful thing. I do think there's a lot of benefits to having an outdoor fountain that an indoor fountain doesn't offer you. But the other thing about an indoor fountain is wonderful is it's small, you can have it contained, you can have that wonderful sound and energy, and you can easily infuse it in a little place. And if you decide you don't want it or it's time for something different, you can remove it. So indoor and outdoor, whatever suits you, both are going to bring the positive energy. It's just you'll have to think about it and address it a little differently for each. The key thing, no matter which one you do, is upkeep, maintenance, and never ever letting that thing get stagnant. Because if you let your fountain get stagnant, or let the water in the fountain go stagnant, you've just changed a beautiful positive thing you've added to your space to a negative thing that is draining the energy and bringing in negativity, and you don't want that. In that case, it's better to have nothing than to have it there. So be mindful of the maintenance and upkeep of your fountains. Now that we talked about fountains, let's go and review. I want to kind of review inauspicious, or the 5 areas that I kind of would avoid if I were you for putting your fountain. So of course, first, avoid the southern area, the FENG area. You don't want to put water in a fire location. Avoid your bedroom, because we don't want too much water. We don't want intense water in the bedroom. Avoid the kitchen, because another place that you do not want too much water is your kitchen. Avoid your bathroom, because again, you don't need more water on top of water and water and water. Too much water if you put a fountain in your bathroom. And the last one, avoid under stairs. It's more of a energetic safety issue, but don't put a fountain under your stairs. And the auspicious locations, I just want to review again. So optimal locations, really auspicious locations for you to locate your fountain. Put it in that southeast corner. It's great. It always encourages it. Your office is a wonderful place to put your fountain. It always is good to have a fountain in your office. At your entry, and do be mindful of whether or not it's inside or outside and which way the water is going, the direction of the water. You're encouraging to go inside and keep it inside. The northern area that deals with career, so it's a really good location to keep your fountain. And the eastern area, also a really good location to put your fountain. So thank you so much for listening. If you want to learn more about fountains, we're doing a whole entire series on fountains. So this video, we talked about where you should locate your fountain, the auspicious versus inauspicious locations. And another video, we talk about the 4 reasons. And another video, we talk about the beauty and the power of having an exterior fountain. So please, subscribe, watch. There's lots to learn. If you want to know more, if you want to talk to an expert about where to locate it specifically for you, your space and your surroundings, please contact us at Energetic Spaces. A practitioner will help you locate your fountain so it is the most auspicious thing for you. It's the one that will work for you and help calling in those opportunities, wealth, and abundance. So thank you so much. Don't forget, everything is energy. Be conscious of it. Think about how you can use it for the best so it can always help you. And thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.